Thank you to the chair of the program, and very good morning to everyone present here. At the outset, I welcome our Honorable Minister for Education, Shri Rakkam A Sangma, sir. Thank you, sir, for taking your valuable time today, and we are all pressed for time in these last moments, and we are very thankful that you could join here today. I'm also thankful to our advisor to the Education Department, Shri H.M. Shanklyang, sir. Thank you, sir, for being here today with us. I also thank our Commissioner Secretary, sir, Raji, sir, for joining us today, and also secretaries from Education, Ambrose, sir, and Raptab, sir. Thank you, sir, for joining here today. I also welcome the staff of SPD office, all of you, you're welcome, and Diesel staff are also there, so welcome to you too. We have also team from DERT. So Director, Joint Director and others from DERT, I extend a very warm welcome to you all. And everyone present from schools, we have a team from Little Flower, we have some other school representatives, we have teachers from Pine Mount, we have teachers from other schools. So if I'm missing everyone, please consider my apologies, I cannot name everyone, but warm welcome to everyone present here. As our Chair has already explained to you what this means, Vidya Samiksha Kendra. So it's basically a knowledge review center in plain English if we have to translate. So to sum up in a very brief way, this is a very important day for us because I don't know if you know, it's a very important famous saying, what gets measured gets done. This is said by Peter Drucker. If you have read management, you would know. What gets measured gets done. So it's as simple as that. So we have to, whatever we have to get it done, we have to measure it, we have to review it every day, every week, every month, and that is the only way to get things done. So in education, we have lots to do. We have done a lot in the last 1 year under the leadership of our minister, and we have still lots to do. So we need to measure things. So this Vidya Samiksha Kendra basically will be a command and control center where our people will sit and all the indicators and all the data on education will come in one single place. So that is a significant step today for Meghalaya's education improvement. It's a big step. Maybe it's very difficult to visualize it today, but you will see in the times to come that how significant a role it will play in improving education in Meghalaya. One example I'll give, recently Government of India gave us a target of completing the photo display in each and every school. We were at 35% when we went for review, and the Secretary Education, Government of India, he has directed us to complete by 15th of March. So this we took on a war footing, and every day we were reviewing. There was a tracker made, all the DSEOs, SDSEOs, everyone did wonderfully well, and I'm very happy to share that yesterday itself we have achieved 100%, and all the schools are displaying these photos, and this is one step to eliminate the proxy teachers. Of course there are many more steps which we are taking. Next is TIMS. So you must be familiar by now, the Teacher Information Management System. We have launched this TIMS for attendance of teachers as of now in all the schools. It's not just in government schools, it's in aided and SSA also. And as on yesterday, I saw that already 55% attendance is being given. Of course, there are some loopholes, technical glitches. Some are not having the network issues are there and all that. But we are solving it. So basically from 0 to we have moved to 55%. So I'm very happy with that as well. And I'm sure in coming months we'll make it 100%. This TIMS app basically is geo-fencing based. So the teacher has to be in the school when they record their attendance because it's linked to the GPS coordinates. So that is working well as well. Then the next thing we are also launching under this VSK is the Learning Management System, LMS. So all kind of data, it be learning, be it PM portion, be it teacher attendance, be it performance, everything the LMS will show, and we can really measure. Because the most important thing on education, as NEP also says, is learning. But we have not been, for so many years, we have never measured whether our children are learning or not. Yes, they are moving from one grade to another. Yes, they are passing the MBOS exam, but are they actually learning? So this is something which the VSK will change. And that is why it's very significant milestone today that we are doing it. So yesterday, we launched the M-Lens app, which is Meghalaya Learning Enhancement Network System. And we did a pilot in 20 schools. Our Honorable Minister also came all the way to Government Girls School, and he witnessed the implementation of this pilot. So we are very thankful for him and his leadership that we are able to launch this very important pilot. And sir, I'm happy to share with you that today when you inaugurate the video wall, the VSK, we will show you the results of the yesterday's assessment. And this is the first step for formative assessment. So soon, maybe after the conduct of the elections and all, what we'll do is we'll start the practice of formative assessments. So DERT, which is the Directorate of Education Research and Training, they will set the question paper, and on this, once the question paper is sent through this app to all the teachers, so all the schools in Meghalaya can take this assessment and then just record the responses, and in the same day we'll have all the results here in the VSK. So that will soon happen in the couple of months, so I'm looking forward to that. That is again a significant step towards formative assessments. We all, many teachers are also here. We have been taking summative assessments, final exam and half-yearly exam. That system has to change slowly towards formative assessments that every week or every month can be taken, and students also do not feel burdened. So whatever they are studying, immediately the assessments can be taken rather than having to remember everything towards the end of the exam. So that's something which will happen soon. This VSK will also have call center facilities. If a teacher wants any information, they can just call on that number. Students wants any information, they can call. If they need help in counseling, if they are now, mental health is a very important thing. Stress, anxiety is even seen in small kids because of the use of too much mobile, internet and etc. So we will be launching call centers through this VSK here. Since many teachers are here, I also want to focus on UDICE. So as on today, our data entry is 63% only. So please, if you have from your school, you have not entered the data, it's very, very important now. You all must be aware that now the PEN number is there. Each student has a PEN number, permanent education number. And that is required if the student wants to take admission somewhere else, in some other school, in some other university across the country. That is compulsory now. So everyone has to, in fact, now many private schools are coming, and to us and to enrolling in UDICE because they have to now, there is no choice. So hopefully we will achieve 100% towards the end of this month. That is also very, very important. So that is the crux of VSK. Of course, after this, we have a technical presentation where our team will give you the insights. But this was the crux of it. So Vidya Samiksha Kendra basically means that all the data relating to education will come to one single unified dashboard, which we will be able to access from, of course, from anywhere, but this is the command and control center, and that will help us improve education. So that is the crux of it. Towards concluding this my speech, I want to share one quote by W. Edwards Deming, when he said that without data, you are just another person with an opinion. I'll repeat that. Without data, you are just another person with an opinion. Thank you so much. Huble Shibun, Mithila.
Raise our hearts and sing to you, a gift for us raised by God. Gather around for joy, joy sweet note of love amidst the silky rays. We welcome you on this beautiful day, a day of joy. It's a day we love, it's a day we cherish. Come and join us, clap your hands, celebrate life, celebrate. Sha-la-la-la, we welcome you, flame of love, spark of joy. Sha-la-la-la, we welcome you, cheer our hearts with your love. Sha-la-la-la, we welcome
बंदिया रे बंदिया राह पे चल बंदिया बंदिया रे बंदिया बंदिया रे बंदिया राह पे चल बंदिया रुक जा रे बंदिया ये रात जरा सी है बात समझ बंदिया कुछ देर ही बाकी है रख यकीन आँखों से बादल आज हट जाएगा चाँद तेरी आँखों में बंदिया चल के आएगा
माना कि मुश्किल है सफर पर सबको मुसाफिर ओ कहीं अगर तू रुका तो मंजिल आएगी ना फिर कदम कदम मिलाए जा गगन गगन झुकाए जा रख हौसला कर फैसला तुझे वक्त बदलना है
Very good afternoon to respected dignitaries and the attendees. So I'll quickly just run through the VSK presentation. While we inaugurate this center, it's very important to know why this center was set up in the first place and how does it fit into the overall scheme of things that we have planned in education department. How does it support our initiatives? How does it help us circumvent issues that we have on the ground? So the VSK Center is actually one of the key programs that have been initiated by Ministry for last couple of years. In every state is supposed to set up this kind of center. But then although there are certain guidelines for setting up the center, it also gives us a lot of room and leverage on how to customize it according to the requirements of the state. So with that, I'll just start. So before we understand why the center was set up, we have to also align it with the current issues that are there in the system. The first and foremost is that we have a very complicated education system in the state. We like to cite this example all the time. Like we have a comparable, we are very comparable in terms of state, the size of the state and population to Manipur. But then we have 1/3 the number of habitations, and we have like maybe double. We have, except for Assam, we have the most number of schools in the system. So that makes it a very large and a complex, and because of the complexity, it's also a very inefficient system. Largely pertaining to the number of school categories, number of schools and teachers. So it's a very complicated, complex system. We need to appreciate that before we take up challenges. The second is like our data flows is very disaggregated. It comes from different sources. It lands in different portals. We're not able to, I mean, we read different data sets depending on the requirements, but we don't get very holistic view of what we want to do with that data. Second is on the ground, we have very poor compliances. But I mean, directors had mentioned attendance. We're not there yet. Whereas many states, even though we have solutions in place, we're not there yet. The data does not come in. So these are challenges that we have to address. This is largely the most important thing. I think from all the components that we will present in the VSK today, there's nothing more important than learning assessments. We simply wait for the summative exams to happen. And we've seen this, we've done countless presentations for MBOs on past performance. We see that the student performance is very deep rooted. It stems from very prior learnings. They're missing out concepts as from very early grades, and they carry that baggage all the way to higher grades, and they're not able to clear. And this affects not just within the system, outside of the system when they finally go into higher studies or entrance examinations. So this is very, very dangerous. We call it a learning crisis. We don't have visibility of what happens in schools. One, because there are too many schools. Second is we really don't know who's visiting, what's the purpose of visit. We want to make the visit more purposeful. And second is we have a lot of data, but we don't, I mean, ministry, we were there recently in ministry presentation of VSK performance state-wise. And this is the theme, data-driven governance is key. Every state will use data to drive governance in education system. So the objectives, we've aligned our objectives completely with what ministry wants. One is to visualize data from various schemes and programs. Second is we'll work with both academic and non-academic data. And we will improve compliances, especially related to enrollments, dropouts, deliveries of important things like textbooks, school-based assessments, which we've talked, and we'll put in a lot of support for schools and teachers. And we're all with the outcome of improving performance of both students and teachers. And then we'll look at the gap analysis and customize our inputs and our initiatives around that. So before we go to technological solution, I apologize, it's a bit complicated, but we need to understand, because like I said, even though ministry has given us clear guidelines of how to set up the system in terms of the hardware and software, the whole lot of customization we need to do. I mean, we needed to make the center customized to the requirements of Meghalaya. So I'll just take you, it's just a concept diagram of what all goes into. It's not just a physical space, it's not just hardware, there's a whole lot of solutions around it. First, if it's visible, it's a mix. We are doing a lot of integration of both existing solutions and new solutions. So existing, we're strengthening the existing solutions, and new solutions, we're plugging gaps where, like I said, learning assessments, where we're using this this program to put it all together. So one is like the director had said, we have these TIMS, Teacher Information Management System. It has both an MIS component, and it has second is we have workflow component. On the MIS component, we have data of close to 10,000 teachers, government aided and SSA schools and teachers, and more than 30,000 data of teachers. So that is just a MIS part. We're able to look at that. So around that, this teachers information system is a transactional system. We do, attendance reporting comes from there. Then we have these workflows, like for example, budget and salary is something that we've already built, but it's awaiting full deployment. Piloting has been done. We have transfer. So when director sir joined, he wanted the transfer process to be more systematic. So that is just, we're just waiting to do the prototype deployment in, like, let's say within this month. So along with that, we've already worked, we built retirement systems so that teachers not burdened with running around for retirements. It will be on the system itself. So this is something we already have. So what do we need? We'll move to student tracking. Luckily, from last year onwards, all students' IDs are captured in UDIs, but that's like a one-time tracking, a one-time kind of a census measurement of how many students with unique ID are there in the system. We want to make it more of dynamic tracking also. So this is something we already have in place. On compliance side, we are already reporting both attendance on the TIMS mobile app, which comes to us every day. If you're joining us in the center, we'd like to show you some of the dashboards. And along with that, we're just about to start reporting of midday meal through the app itself. So the two important things that work in the school, both we are capturing. Along with that, under VSK, like I said, we don't have visibility of what happens in schools. We need to validate what's happening in schools, both in terms of data points as well as school level processes, including teaching and learning. So this, within this VSK itself, we're designing a school monitoring app that, like Sir has mentioned, we will schedule visits for people in the blocks and clusters, not from a disciplinary point of view, but more for more purposeful visits. We need to have a better connection with the schools, and we can only look at the gaps. So like Sir had mentioned, we have a call center. Why we have a call center? Because we want to stay connected with the schools, we want to stay connected with the officials, we want to see if visits happening, what gaps are coming, we continuously want. That thing is missing from the system, so we've put it. So this VSK itself, like we said in the beginning, is a nerve center. It should interact in both ways. And we've built something called a customer relation management application, which all data that pulls in from VSK will show on the call agent's desk. So for example, like in the school mobile app, we'll have very purposeful visit. Like say, we don't do well in PGI. So we'll schedule PGI preparatory visits so that all compliances happen before these results are pushed. Similarly, we'll do that same thing for NAS. We'll align NAS National Achievement Surveys with our assessment systems. So it makes it more purposeful and functional. So this is the big thing. I would call this the heart of the VSK Center, the learning assessment. It's taken us some time to build, but we've done it. We've just did the pilot itself, right from Minister Sir to all the officials were all there in the field. We tested in 20 schools, including very remote schools in Shela, Mausaram. The data is coming in. And the best thing about this is that the analytics comes almost automatically. We're able to look and see which teacher, which school at that level be able to analyze quickly and start supporting the school. We start aligning our training programs, we start aligning everything as per what comes. It's not just like built or designed by me and delivered without any meaning. So we're looking around training and capacity building. We already have an e-learning portal for the teachers, which is yet to pick up. But around that, we would also like to build a training management system so that, we're able to see. So if you connect all the dots, we're seeing what's happening in assessments, we know the gap of teachers, we're already doing teachers self-assessment on the TIMS portal. All these, when we combine, we can actually design more meaningful training programs and customize. So we group teachers who have similar issues and put training programs. At least I hope that comes into play. So we are in perfect alignment with whatever ministry wants. All our data flows comes from the state. It's visualized in the center, it's visualized in the ministry center, it's visualized in the state center. So there's no something. On the planning and governance side, so we've put teams all across. So planning and governance side, we have something we've piloted. It's a geospatial application. It uses a lot of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence. So what we do is we layer education data points like enrollments, pass percentages, infrastructure, and this we layered on top of socio-economic indicators. Like, for example, we're able to look and see whether health of students, nutrition of students affect learning. Can we look at literacy levels of that particular area and how does it affect learning? Occupation of certain areas, how does it affect learning? So these are things we built in pilot, maybe at a very advanced learning, because I don't think education can be impacted only from the sector itself. We need to look at a more broader impactful intervention. So all these come into the VSK platform, and then we use it for visualization. So I'll quickly take you to the components of the VSK. I will not touch the hardware and the dashboards, the central applications I mentioned, the state apps we mentioned, but we look at the new solution that we have in plan. We already mentioned that we're putting an AI-driven learning enhancement analytics platform, which has already been piloted. You'll see it in the center today. School monitoring app, like I mentioned. These are new items we brought under VSK. We are also looking at futuristic options. We have a civil works monitoring app because a whole lot of we do about hundreds and hundreds of schools, but some of the projects don't get completed on time. We struggle with to see for financial physical progress. We don't see the quality of the the buildings very clearly. So we're going to start tracking that. That is conceptual stage. Director sir has given us a challenge to build efficient schools. So we're looking at, again, using high-end technology to look at rationalization as also school accreditation. We will start ranking schools now on performance. So there are very good schools in even remote location that deserve more attention, more support, so that they can even improve even further. So can we have a look at that? So that is something we are planning. We should roll it out soon. And then we're also looking at, maybe later, we're planning something on the skills and counseling center. Why? Because a child needs to be supported from all angles, not just on the learning front, but you also need to start looking at his career and his aspirations right from the initial grades. So we've set about the call center. We look at manpower. See, the center will be manned, like I said, the call agents. We'll have subject matter experts that will be drawn from the teaching community, maybe very, very good teachers. We're still thinking of how to do. These are people will read the assessments, talk to schools, handhold teachers to improve the student performance even more. So these are the teams that we have in place. These are just snapshots of the center. Anyways, I'm skipping it because we'll be visiting there soon. So we moved to the Meghalaya Learning Enhancement Network System. That's the name, MEGLENS. It's actually an assessment and an analytics platform. So I'll invite my colleague, Dr. David, to just take through why we need this learning assessment in the first place. What is the situation? Like I said, this is not just a launch of a center. It's a very, it's come from the challenges that is there in the field. Learning is one of them. So, Dr. David.
Thank you, Bardani. And now just to continue with, from what Bardani has shared. So why do we need the M-Lens? So this entire platform basically allows us to ensure that our students are all learning. So basically, in fact, just to give you some background and the context, thanks to the team here, led by Minister, we have been able to come out with the learning outcomes based textbooks as well as syllabus for the first time in core areas. So for the first time today in the state, we actually have the building blocks required at each grade level in maths, in science, as well as in English or language. So we also know that our performance so far has not been too good in the national achievement surveys, and this is also reflected in the performance in the MBO's results. So we will not get into that, but let us move forward and see. Let's look at NAS first for a while. So when we look at NAS, we see that there are many building blocks missing in language, in science, in maths, as well as in social science. So with this end in mind, we need to take action on this. So how do we do it? So we know that these summative assessments, your exams and tests, these basically only capture at the end of the unit or end of the term what students are able to do. However, there is no remedial action taken. So for this purpose, because of this, what happens is students move from one class to another level carrying a whole lot of baggage. So for that reason, the coming of the lens has given us an opportunity now to implement these centralized transformative assessments in the form of your periodic assessments. So these periodic assessments are basically developed using the currently what we have as your psychometrics. They're very accurate techniques, statistical techniques that allows us now to break down each knowledge and skill into different levels of concepts. So we are now able to measure exactly how much a child has learned. So if a child is learning one learning outcome from Monday to Friday, you are able to measure how much the child has actually learned through these metrics. So this is a one-stop solution, and if we implement it properly this year and for many more years, we will be seeing an improvement in the NAS performance of our students. And it will also reduce the learning disparities. So just to share with you, breaking down this into a diagram to try and simplify the whole idea of the Meghalaya Lens platform. So we need to understand that it is systems driven. We have a centralized system here where the DRT and the examination team will play a central role here regarding the scheduling of all these periodic assessments, the selection of items. There's the whole capabilities now, solutions now within the system to identify good items, which items measure the actual constructs identified. So all these will allow us now to have valid assessments, valid and reliable assessments, and to be able to measure exactly how much a child has learned or not learned. So with the purpose of identifying all the gaps and plugging in and ensuring that no child is left behind. So with regards to this, within the platform itself, we have the item response theory, which is a very sophisticated statistical technique using psychometrics to basically ensure we have quality items to test. So the entire platform also allows us to work with teachers and subject matter experts where we build your huge item banks. So these item banks will work at two levels. At the centralized level by the DRT exam cell, and at the same time what the NAP has recommended for all states is to have a school-based assessment system. So at school level also they will be able to access from the same platform these quality items which they can use for their normal tests. So with this, we also have a system to capture this entire database, and using advanced AI also, where we can identify actual gaps and make recommendations, suggestions to teachers on what action to take. So this learning diagnostics analytics system also will provide support for students, teachers, as well as schools. So everything is integrated here. And we need to understand also that it is outcome driven. So just to share with you what it actually looks like, this is how the DRT exam cell will be scheduling the periodic assessments. This is what it looks like. Then this is the platform where the creation of item banks can happen. This will take place where teachers, subject matter experts will all contribute items based on learning outcomes in different subject areas. From here, the subject matter experts identified by the DRT will then review the items, and they will run an analysis and ensure that only the items that are valid and reliable are selected for all assessments. Here we have the generation of items for the periodic assessments. The entire system also allows us to select items and come out with your actual question papers for periodic assessments. In fact, this can be done for all assessments. Then we also have the app, the MLens app. Here, once the students complete the test by using the OMR sheets and selecting the responses, correct responses, the teacher can use the app and ensure that the OMR sheets are scanned, and immediately the results are uploaded, and we can get the results at the VSK here, they pulled here. So this can be done either through scanning the OMR sheets as well as through manual filling of the responses of students. So this was tried out yesterday, and including myself personally, I had been to Mausanram and where we had done this in some remote locations, and things ran very smoothly, and we are glad to share with you. Then after the assessments, we also have the analysis of students' performance. So these are very accurate techniques again being used, and the system has been customized to ensure that we use different sort of psychometrics to ensure that children
we can see the proficiency levels of students at different levels. So this is how it's done. This is what it looks like. So we can also pull in the performance of students individually as well as school-wise, district, block, cluster-wise too. So for each item that is selected for the assessments also, we can
identify which are the weak assessments, which are the strong assessment items using item response theory. So this also will be done by our team of quantitative experts at the DRT. And then we also have here the cutoffs and the proficiency levels. So where, unlike the pass and fail system of showing you scores of students in terms of percentages and stay nines and other types of measurements, over here what we do is we use the interquartile range to show you basically this is standardized, and it actually shows you where your students are individually. Are they below proficiency levels or above proficiency levels? So in this manner you can address each learning gap that is present in students. Then we also have the system also allows us to upload lesson plans based on each unique learning outcome that has been coded. So we not only do we have the lesson plans, today we also have the syllabus, the learning outcome map syllabus available to us. So all this will be available in the system. Then on top of that, we have also mapped all the resources to each learning outcome. So students, teachers will be able to access all these materials in the portal itself. And with regards to remedial action, appropriate remedial action using AI will be available in the system. So appropriate remedial actions hopefully will enable our students to address all the gaps and move from one level to another level without having any baggage. So hopefully in this manner we'll be able to improve our NAS National Achievement Surveys scores, which today we know we are at the bottom, and hopefully step by step and with your support all of us will be able to move up on the NAS performance too. So for this we also have from this slide, we get to see what kind of resources will be available. As you can see, you'll be having notes, question banks, sample papers, and you can also, we can share here with you how concepts are broken down to levels. As you can see the knowledge graph there, that enables teachers as well as students to actually pinpoint which are the levels I am in and which are the knowledge and skill areas that I need to excel or I have not mastered yet or that I've mastered in. So in this way we are able to map each and every level with respect to constructs, concepts and skills. And finally, at the end of all this, we will have each student will be getting a student academic progress card. So here the students, parents, teachers can actually pinpoint. This is a sample of a student in class 9 in science. So basically we are able to track down all the learning outcomes. These are grade specific learning outcomes in science that the student must have in able to ensure that they will succeed at the higher level. So for this, we can easily pinpoint there are 2 learning outcomes that probably the teacher and the parents as well as the students need to identify and take immediate action on. So that's class 9 learning outcome 3 and class 9 science learning outcome 13. So in this manner, we are able to identify, spot and take action to remove these learning gaps. So this will be available for all students, individual students in the state. So at this point, I would like to hand over to Dani again.
Thank you, David. Just some snapshots of the assessment conducted yesterday. We all went into teams, 22 different schools, not just urban, rural areas, very remote areas, and these are like lower primary schools mostly. And all the data was fetched successfully. The only thing I would like to leave, appeal is that learning assessment has to be a full-fledged program, has to have dedicated funding, dedicated resources. Because when we move from a handful of schools right to the complexity of schools that we presented in the beginning, that will take some asking. And so we just leave you with this governance monitoring app. We've already discussed it. We have designed this quite a few years ago. We could not complete the project because lack of funding. But then VSK, like I said, gives us an opportunity to use existing systems also in place. We've kept this place. So this we will have, like I said, more purposeful visits, very clearly whether we're going to check and help schools with processes, or we're going to validate data from you guys. Everything will be driven centrally. Scheduling of visits will be done centrally or by district, and everyone has to comply so that connect with school remains. So these are just snapshots. I'll not get too much to that. The VSK implementation platform, we are currently in around 5, 6, 7. We've done most of these. We just have a few more things to do, then it'll run full-fledgedly. And with that, we conclude my presentation. So if I permit, I would just like to introduce the VSK core team members, Wan Bok, Kong Meba, Ba John. These are from the technical side. Please, come up, please. Ba John, come. And this is a combined team of our project management unit and SSA team. So this is a very complex project, so we had to pull in the best of resources. So we can only design systems and processes and solutions, but then the learning assessment part, the full credit we give to DRT, especially Dr. David, Kong Bala, Kong Libra, and Kong Caroline. The entire, because we don't understand the science of assessment, but what has gone to this is that the understanding of assessments. Please join us on stage also. So, and last but not least, like to thank Dr. Andrew. It's always all the support for us to achieve this program, and our director, sir. So thank you for the faith you have on the local team. So I would just like to share that VSK is such an important program that at a point when we were struggling to put it in place, there was an option to use outside consultancy, but Director Sir, he had that faith and believe in the local team. So it's come to that stage where we not only delivered this, but I was told in a recent meeting in ministry that ministry has even asked big states to consult Meghalaya, which is quite a proud moment. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Minister of Education, Government of Meghalaya, Shri Rakkam A Sangma, sir. Advisor to Government of Meghalaya, Department of Education, Sir Himalayan Champlain, Secretary Education Baraptha, Ambrose, Director Diesel Shri Swapnil Tembe, other officers, students, teachers, ladies and gentlemen. I have very recently taken over as Commissioner Secretary for Education Department, and to be honest, when the orders were issued for me to take over education, it was a lot of fear and trepidation in my heart, because over the last 3 years I've been in the state. I have seen and heard in various different meetings that how complicated the education system and the entire setup is, and how difficult it is to manage things here. Actually, as I was trying to make sense of the entire setup, and I actually found it quite mind-boggling. But then I also realized that there are a lot of interventions happening which have been devised by the local talent, by the own staff of the education department, different consultants. And yesterday I had the opportunity to view firsthand the launch of pilot of M-Lens, and I must with my wholeheartedly compliment Swapnil and his team for coming up with this brilliant initiative. I must tell you that use of IT and technology in such an innovative and cost-effective way, where you can get your visualizations right on from the student level to the state level. It's a brilliant initiative, and all kudos to Mr. Swapnil Tembe and his team. They really deserve all the compliments that come their way and even more. So I hope everyone here who's seen the presentations on the workings of this system and M-Lens would go back enriched, and will also not only be enriched by this process, but also go back with hope that yes, we will be able to devise interventions, we'll be able to devise different initiatives focused at a particular cohort, as a focus on a geographical area, on a particular school, on a particular student, so that the learning outcomes, the overall achievements, they really go up. And I've been hearing this every year. This assessment comes out every year that Meghalaya is at the second last from the bottom, or at the bottom. We definitely hope to change that with the leadership of our dynamic education minister and the very effective team of officers we have here. I will not take much of your time, the other distinguished speakers to speak after me. I only say that with these interventions, we will have the information. If you are aware of the problem, if you have the data on it, then it is half the solution. The problem was that we didn't even know what was the quantum of the issue. Moment we are aware of it, we'll be able to solve it. At least halfway we are through it. So again, repeating my gratitude and compliments to the Honorable Education Minister and the entire team who have worked so hard, and especially Mr. Swapnil Tembe. Thank you very much, and I hope we achieve much bigger, brighter and greater things in the coming days. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson, for giving me this opportunity to say a few words in this August gathering. Honorable Minister, Education, Mr. Rakkam A Sangma, the Commissioner and Secretary of the Department, Mr. Raji, Secretaries to the Department, Mr. Rapthap, Mr. Ambrose Marak, Director, Mr. Tambe, the Director of DERT, Madam Manners, officers of the department, teachers assembled today here, and my dear students. At the very outset, I must congratulate the Department of Education for this wonderful intervention that it has come up, which is about to be launched by the Honorable Minister today. As I was sitting and watching the presentation, my mind was going back to the years when I was a student and when we were in class. I wish this kind of intervention was there in those years. Perhaps the standard of education would have been better since the days that we were in school. Nevertheless, this kind of intervention with the technologies that has come up is actually the trend and the need of the day. I must thank the Government of India for coming up with this project and which has launched throughout the country, and we are not far from it. Mr. Tambe and his team, particularly the ones who have come in front of us on the stage, my heart goes to all of you for all the dedication and the sincerity shown by each one of you to come up to this level that we are ready to launch this program, and for which each one of us are very proud of you. Now that the vehicle is going to be launched, I hope everybody gets into this vehicle and get the engine moving, and this vehicle has to go on a long journey. It has its own destination, and I'm sure the driver sitting in the seat driving this vehicle will ensure that every passenger on board will have his or her role to play in making this vehicle move in the years to come. It is amazing that sitting on the driver's seat, the director will be able to know about each and every school in the state. I'm even more impressed that real-time data, real-time facts is going to come in the hands of the director and the senior officers and even to the minister. What more can we ask? We will be able to know about the ability of the teachers. We'll be able to know about the standard of the schools. We'll be able to know about the proficiencies and about the ability of the students as well. I was even more impressed yesterday when we visited along with the Honorable Minister at the Government Girls High School, where there was a presentation of the M-Lens. Now this M-Lens is something that we are going to make assessment of the students. Now perhaps in the days to come, with this kind of monitoring that's going on, the assessment that we are conducting on the students, we may not need to have half-yearly exams or final exams for promotions. The assessment itself performs like a report card on the ability of the child and on the knowledge that the child has attained. Therefore, I must say that the department has achieved a milestone today in launching this program. I must thank the Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Konrad Sangma, who has always and continuously been supportive of every move on every ventures that the Education Department has put forward. To the fact that in the recent budget, Education Department topped in the allotment of funds, which has gone beyond 3,000 crores. And this itself shows that the Honorable Minister, Shri Rakkam A Sangma, and the Chief Minister has laid so much importance and emphasis on the all-round development of education in the state. My dear friends, teachers and officers, you are the main stakeholders here. My appeal on behalf of the government is, let us carry forward. We have targets to achieve. As stakeholders, let us put our heads together for the benefit of our children and the future of the state. Before I resume my seat, once again, I'd like to congratulate each one of you in making this project a success today, and may God bless this project so that all of us will see that Meghalaya ranks in the top 3 in the days to come. And we are very sure we will achieve that position so that we will make all of us proud and the state proud. Thank you. Kubleshibon Metela.
Very good afternoon to all of you. With us, Honorable Advisor, Shri S.M. Sampliang, and Commissioner Secretary to the Education Department, Government of Meghalaya, Shri Rajiv, and with us to Secretary to the Education Department, Government of Meghalaya, Shri Ambrose H. Marak and Drafter, and Director of School Education, and Swapnil Tambe, and Director of DERT, Madam Mana, and all the officers of the Education Department, and all my respected principals from different institutions of the state, the city, and all my dear teachers, my dear students, trainees, and all my friends. So at the very outset, I'd like to thank each one of you for being here with us, and also to thank the Swapnil and the entire VSK team for having this wonderful program initiation, and it will really be in the history of what I feel. So I'd like to congratulate the SSA team, the entire VSK, and entire officers for your support, for your endeavor, for your commitment. And my dear friends, when any new program initiated, it troubles somebody, we confuse somebody, but the wisest man on earth is the man who can adapt to the new system and the new environment. If you are not able to adapt to the change of scenario, change of system, you have to relook at the gift that you have. Therefore today, with the launching of this VSK program in the state. There may be some teachers who might feeling with little discomfort what will happen with this program. Still, I will not be able to go for some, some vacations without record, without CL, because there may be discomfort to somebody. But let us remind ourselves, we are here not by chance. We are here. You have been assigned responsibility with a purpose, and to serve the purpose and to meet the purpose. The purpose is to educate our children. This program is not being adopted, designed not for anything else. But this program, this system has been designed, has been safe to serve somebody, to make somebody's lives better. That is our daughter, our son. Let us remember ourselves before you leave your duty, before you go out of the school. Let us remind ourselves always, there is my daughter and my son in the school. We don't know what will be the fate of their tomorrow. It will be the responsibility of the teachers of today, officials of the today, the government of today, the parents of today, to decide the future of your family, of your children, of our society. Therefore, if you want to see the difference in our society, you have to start from home. How much you love to your children. With an equal measure, you must love every student of your class, of your schools. With that commitment, I think it's not going to make discomfort to anybody. I still remember when Vidya Sangma, the former Speaker of the Lok Sabha, said once, he was in the airport somewhere, and he met one of the pilot of the flight. The pilot of the flight met Sir Vidya Sangma. He said, he is from Assam. He said, sir, thank you so much, sir, to meet you, because I'm your students when you were in the school. Vidya Sangma so proud to meet that boy, that pilot. He feel proud, and he's one of satisfied men. He was saying, I'm satisfied that at least I could see the result of my performance. When any team won the trophy, it's the first, the coach, either the manager, who will take credit for the trophy, for the winning the match. But when the match is lost, some of the coach and the manager blame the player. I think our boys did not prepare well. But when they won the match, the coach and the manager used to have a press conference. We did this, we have planned like this, like that, like that. All of us take credit. I think, my dear teachers today, by having the system, we will be able to track the performance of yourself, performance of the institutions, performance of our children, and also performance of our teacher. To some of the teachers, will be really inspiring to see the result that your students perform. And it will really, for those teachers, for those institutions who are performing well, it will really motivate you to do better and more commitment. Therefore, we should not blame our students. As our Commissioner Secretary just stated, Meghalaya, at the right moment, If you see the newspaper, last whole year, last in the PGI ranking, highest in the dropout rate. Shall we blame our students? Shall we blame our parents for things happening? Every teachers, the officer, the government, we should take this responsibility. And we are not here to blame anybody else. Blame, it should not blame, but rather this message should encourage you to go harder and more serious. Therefore, when we have something in the hotel, be it a 5-star, any star, so the waiter always used to ask, "Sir, how was the food? How was the food? How was the food?" They used to ask. It speak, yes, everybody needs assessment. And therefore, with the system, I think we will be able to understand the performance of our children's uniformity. But nothing is perfect on the earth. This system, VSK, may not be a system that perfectly works. We might not be able to track perfectly the performance of any students or any institutions, any teacher. And also, there is always a way to manipulate. So today, I want to request each one of you, let's be faithful on our responsibility. Let's not manipulate. I'll just give some idea how to manipulate. While doing assessment, some teacher may do the marking for all the students and get the picture and upload in the system. Then you will see 100% performance. But allow the system work to meet the objective. It is not. We are here not to see the 100% performance, but we are here, the system designed to understand the reality of the ground situation of our children, of our schools. Therefore, please do not manipulate. Allow the system to get the real picture of our state. I know some teacher will adopt this, my policy that I have told you. There may be some more ideas. But my only request, let's be faithful on our responsibility and let's. This system will be just a system, just technology, unless we contribute for its betterment. As our advisor has already stated, you are a stakeholder and your contribution will definitely take us to the greater height. Therefore, especially in rurals, there are many dropout students. Why? Did somebody think about? You may say, our students not performing well. If you ask some higher secondary school lecturer, headmaster, principal, why we are not getting the good students? They will blame the secondary teachers. Secondary level, they are not performing. When you ask secondary teachers, they will blame the UP school. When you ask UP school, they will blame the SSS school, SSS school and the primary school. When we ask the primary teachers, they will blame pre-primary. When you ask the primary and pre-primary teachers, they will blame the parents. Let's not take this excuse. We are here to start from somewhere. Nothing is left. So therefore, I think my assessment about the dropout rate. Somebody tells Meghalayan institutions is not fit to study. Therefore, students are not coming. That is not true. Somebody saying we don't have enough infrastructure. Far away. We don't have lights. We don't have what you call vehicles, all things, all that. But it is not true. But to me, my assessment, I will have only one assessment point. It's our students lost interest in studies. Why? That means they have not learned well. When we don't learn well, we lose interest. Any students memorize for the exam only, they will definitely lose interest. But if I know about photosynthesis, what is photosynthesis? Yes, if you ask for definition, any students from class 4, 5, 6, 7, they can tell about the definition of the photosynthesis. But what it means, what it really, how the plants' leaves are green in color, all things like if the students understand more from the definition, students will ask, why this color is green? Why some colors are brown in color, whether they manufacture what you call oxygen or not? Why the trees are brown in color? So he will design more question, then he will have more interest in studies. Maybe, in short, as a teacher, as an institution, did we fail to inspire our students? Therefore today, this program, this system will definitely enable us to track the performance in the entire state, performance of our institutions and our children's. My dear teachers, after knowing of this document, the figure, we are here not to take any action nor punishment to any of the teachers. Don't misunderstand. This figure, the figure of your students, the data of your schools, of your district, we manage. We are not here to take any action. But this data must, not to action, but this data must make you for the reaction. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. Therefore, when you see the data, please remind yourself, you have to take some action on yourself. Don't wait the administration, don't wait the rector, don't wait the principal to take action on you, but the data must tell you to react accordingly. My dear teachers, my dear officer, I think today it's good time to speak that I'm proud to be in this state. I'm proud to be the Minister of Education today. Why? By seeing the potentials of our stakeholders, by seeing the entire teamwork of our officers, by seeing the glorious skills of our academicians. And today, I don't mind that Meghalaya is the last or the bottom. I don't care for all this data. But if everybody solves your own responsibility, Meghalaya will be the model state in the country. We are a small state, only about 11 districts. I think 12 now, no? 12, right? 12 more? Yes, this technology making us. We're just 12 districts in the state. Small district, right? We're easy to track, to monitor, to motivate, to work around, to move around. I heard that one of my officer, SGSU from Bakmara, he was there in the thick forest called, I don't know, there is one that near Chokfort area. He was stayed last couple of days back. He went to inspect some school. Might be he might have enjoyed the good food of that also. Right? So if you want to, don't sit in the office only. Walk around. You will enjoy and you will understand more of your responsibility that you have been called for. As a teacher, as officer, go to any of the school and understand when you see the children's, it will really connect to your heart and it will really inspire to keep going. Therefore today, by looking at the skill, the brilliance that we have, I think Meghalaya can be one of the top model state, especially in education. That's why I want to tell today. But as a Meghalayans, I want to speak as a Meghalayans now. Don't expect from Delhi, from Mumbai, from Maharashtra, from Assam will change the state scenario. It is we, starting from me, should give the best that we have. If everybody gives the best that we have, definitely the result will be the best. You may have little, give what you have to the society. You may have more, give more what you have. Don't give beyond the things that you have. Give what you have, and you will see the difference in our society, in our state. Therefore, my dear teachers, today, after launching this program, as I stated earlier, if you are not discomposed to adapt to the system, it will really, I heard, don't mind for saying this, I heard there are many teachers, there's some group of teachers who have complained, who have given the petition to the deputy commissioner, to the director, to all the authorities, complaining that this system should not be there, our attendance should not mark by the government. I heard so. But as a teacher, my father is a teacher. I'm a teacher. Everybody was teacher. If you have that question, if you don't want to take, if you don't want to give attendance, your attendance to the government, don't take attendance of your students too. On what moral ground you will take students' attendance if you yourself don't want to? Be accountable to the society, be accountable to the government, and we are here to be accountable to the one who have sent to this on this earth. Therefore, I think, as I have said many times, I think it's good to talk here also. Maybe for the first time, I think we'll be having consultation very soon. This time, for the first time, the history of our state. We are planning to introduce, as we have discussed already with our DERT teams, that studies on our culture, the tribal, the practice, the language, the music, the dress that we have, about sixth schedule, how we belong, where we are connected, where do we belong. I think it's time for us to discover, protect, preserve, not injure. We are here to promote. I think, so earlier our chairperson was talking about the books, but that does not sound good to me. We have been welcomed with the books, but that is not the books as a symbol of honor and the respect. Had it been that books that talks about our people, tribal peoples, about Meghalayans, suppose if any dictator is the prime minister, the president, anybody comes to the state, the big people come from the dignitaries, maybe overseas dignitaries, we welcome them with the books, they talk about Meghalaya, they talk about our culture, our music, our beat, the asset. I think that the flower will throw away somewhere, but the books they will carry and they will keep in the office, at the homes. I think it's time to educate others to know about us. Because if you go to big city like Mumbai, I think they will not mind for saying this. If you go to the big city of the country, they will say, brother, आप Chinese से है क्या? आप Burma से है क्या? They used to ask. I've experienced many times. They don't know who are Meghalayans, who are Arunachal, who are Nagalands, right? We are too big. It is not their fault. It is our fault. Sometimes we feel we have not been respected somewhere. Don't look otherwise. It is not their fault. It is our fault because we have not promoted our culture well. We have not educated them well. Therefore today, maybe we will do consultation very, very soon. From next academic or whenever earliest the better, we want to introduce study of our own culture, the tradition in our school curriculum, starting from elementary to the PhD level. I think it's time to promote now. Whoever comes to the state, anywhere from the earth, any other countries of the world, they will also study about us. When they go back, they will always remain connected with Meghalaya system, with the Meghalaya education. Therefore, somebody was just now, I was in Nehu, one professor was talking to me, sir, why not we ask author, writer to write book first? So I told them, there are many books already written. 1986 books are there already in the stock, but nobody read. Nobody read. So, no player will practice well if there is no tournament. If there is a tournament, every player will practice well. Therefore, many book writers will not write book if there is nobody to read. Suppose an example, matrilineal society. Meghalayans practice matrilineal society. We are the few, I don't know the record, we are the few community on the earth that follow the matrilineal society. But the world doesn't know about this. Every individual on the earth must know that the Khasi, the Jaintia, the Garo people follow the matrilineal society. I'm proud of it. If anyone to adopt, we are welcome. So why? We are born from the mother's womb. I feel 1000% correct to take the names of my mother. Maybe there is a beauty in this. There is a glorious to read by somebody else. Maybe we don't have the proper documents to read about. So let the world read about this. Therefore, from whenever it's possibility, we will do consultation, in adoption, in inclusion of this in the curriculum, in our syllabuses. And sixth schedule. No, I think our children hardly knows about sixth schedule. Reverend James Nicholas Roy, many pioneers of our state, has fought well in the assembly and the parliament, 1946, 1947. to get this recognized. Sixth schedule is not the new things, but sixth schedule has been designed, they adopted the act which suit to our own practice. It is our responsibility to preserve, to protect, to promote the culture in line with the sixth schedule. We are not to adopt the sixth schedule, but sixth schedule has been enacted to adopt in sweetness the culture that we practice today. Therefore, every student of our state must understand what is sixth schedule. People think only the lawyer, advocate, and the high court and the judicial people should know. It is not. Every student must know. I think normally sometimes we are allowed to stand in the court to defend ourselves. It is not necessary that every lawyer has to defend it. I think sometimes we will be allowed to defend ourselves. If we are well versed on this law, we can't. Therefore, every teacher, every head of institutions must understand some basic of the sixth schedule too. In a similar way, therefore, it is very important to make understand our children's of local history and also the national and the global history. There may be something good which the world have to recognize. Therefore, today, it's my request to all the academies of the state, including our officers, let us contribute what we have today, because the future of our state will be decided by the ideas that we have today. As I always used to say, nothing is going to live, but the ideas will live forever. And also today, Meghalaya has completed the 50 years of our statute. But the performance as a state at the national level, be in the UPS examination, be it a different national level examination, I think we have not performed well as it should have been after 50 years. But this word sentence should not demoralize us, but this word should challenge every individual, every academician, every teachers of the state. Education system, as our Commissioner rightly stated, is very, very complex. When I have been assigned as a minister, none of my people wants me to take over education minister. Even my church pastor even prayed. Even my church pastor advised me, don't take education. I even prayed for you. Because everybody thinks that education is very complex. But it is not. It is not as the world sees. But when you go inside, you will see the difference. I especially enjoy in working with such a stakeholder, with a team of officers and the people that we have today. But do not submit to the injustice that we have. I think it's not written in the Bible, but somebody says, submission to the injustice is sin. Maybe I think this kind of things are happening, but we should not submit to the injustice. I think we have not performed well. That means it's injustice on our part, but we should do the justice. How long we will take in all things for the granted? This is my last word. As a teacher today, as an officer today, how long our responsibility shall we taken for granted? We are here for the betterment of our society, and we are here to start better. And also, yes, it's important. Well begun is half done. Yes, it is true. But for me, beginning is not the matter. You may begin some way or some other. We may not begin well. But if somebody begins well, yes, it is good. You man it, I man it, big and wells, but doesn't matter for me. But finishing well is a perfect story to be told. Let's try to begin well in our responsibility. I wish my best wishes to the VSK team, Patambe and his entire team in taking this forward. And sure, this system will definitely take us, the state, to the different standard, and we will see the standard of our institution and the standard of our system. And just to remind you, each one of you once again, this system will be only the data, will be only the technology, unless you stood firm on your responsibility to make this better. This has been adopted and adapted to suit to environment, and it may not need for tomorrow when everybody on your soldier. It is not necessary for you to read, but when you give your 100% effort, you will see the difference. So I always used to say and finish this word that the finest, the best education system on the world is the Finland country. The Finland education minister used to say, we don't depend on technology. We don't depend on technology. Nothing is going to work perfectly. But the system that we have has been recognized as the world's best education system on the earth. It's only one thing that we have, is we trust in our teacher. Therefore, it is our confidence, government, fully confidence in you, in your efficiency, in your skills, and your commitment. And let us continue to build up. Let's not send the message that we are confident in you, and government is confident in you, and as we confident in you, you must also have confidence in your children's. When you're sending out your children's, you must have confidence that my students will perform well in his rest of his life. Thank you so much. Matila, God bless you. God bless Meghalaya.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. First of all, I would like to extend my gratitude on behalf of the State Education Mission Authority of Meghalaya and also the Education Department to our Honorable Minister, Mr. Rakkam A Sangma, for sparing his valuable time to be with us. He has been very instrumental in this project right from the very beginning that he joined his his post as the Honorable Minister of Education. We had gone up to him and spell out the integrities of the scheme, and he was very excited about it and encouraged us to move ahead. And today we are here, and yesterday he has personally visited schools, which very rarely that you will find of ministers of his position to come to school. This shows the interest and the commitment he has got towards education in the state, and we are, like the chairperson has already said, that we are very safe in his hands. Thank you, sir, once again for being here with us. I also extend my gratitude to our advisor to Education Department, Ba Shampling, Bahima. Thank you, sir, for always being with us, for giving us wise advice all the time, and also encouraging us towards the goals of education. And all the time, yesterday also, he is always with us and keep on asking questions about the theory and about the implementation of this particular project, how it goes about. Because I understand that this project is very technical. This will take a lot of time for us to actually understand this project and how it runs. And so we had actually, our minister, honorable minister, and the commissioner, secretary, director, and advisor have actually decided yesterday itself to actually launch this program. So in a very short span of time, we've actually achieved so much. And this shows that we can move mountains. It's just depending on our commitments. Thank you, sir, for that initiative you've taken. Also, sir, I would like to extend my gratitude to our Commissioner and Secretary, Mr. Syed Mohammed Razi. He's new, but he's an old friend of the department. He's always been with us and sharing his ideas with us every now and then whenever we meet in any types of meetings and conference. He's always been giving us encouragement towards implementation of various schemes, and also now he's also part of our system. So there are a lot of actually implementation from PHE and education that we can easily actually meet and address those gaps, especially with concerning the performance grading index, which is connected to drinking water, toilets and facilities, and that all these indicators which are connected with the PHE. Thank you, sir, for being here with us. And I will fail in my duty to not express my gratitude, even though he is not here. Our Chief Secretary, DP Walang, he was very, very much involved in this program right from the time when he was the additional Chief Secretary of Education Department. He has encouraged us. In fact, it's the first phone call from him when we were in Delhi for our plan approved board. This particular program was not in the annual work plan of the state of Meghalaya. He called up one evening and he told us to work out the proposal for VSK. It was then that we started working. We were not understanding, we were not going anywhere, we were hitting, every time we moved, we hit the wall. And that's when we went to several other partners, and finally we found our own partners who are in-house, our own project management unit, Danny and his group, David, and all the partners that we have, Kong Meva, John, Kong Kerlin, and the other members of the VSK team that we have. I may forget, please forgive me. We have actually sat down together and actually come up with these ideas. So it's all, we also give credit to DP Walang, who's been there with us. And also I feel during the same time, Ambrose C.H. Marak, the then State Project Director, was also with us. And he's also been very, very much a part and parcel of this program. Thank you, sir, for being with us. Thank you for encouraging us, especially for every other program that's connected or not connected with Vidya Samiksha. In fact, today, from what has been said by many of our dignitaries, it is very clear that now everything will be linked towards Vidya Samiksha Kendra. Data is king, as you all say. Also, I would like to extend my gratitude to Raptop, the Secretary Education, who is also with us here, sparing his valuable time. He is also part and parcel of VSK, since he is also looking after DRT. Thank you, sir, for being here. Thank you also, my thank also goes to Kong Manor, the Director of Educational Research and Training, for sparing her valuable time to be here with us, and also supporting us in many aspects, especially while we constructing and preparing the VSK in this particular building, because this building is under the custody of the Director of Educational Research and Training. Thank you, Madam, once again. And thank you all for being here with us. There's so many that I want to thank, especially the Project Management Unit, the DRT, the SSA team who are here with us, the DHTE, Director of Higher and Technical Education, the Joint Director, the Deputy Director, the Special Officers of DHTE. Also, I would like to express my thanks to Diesel SPD, who has always been our torch bearer for this program or any other program. Thank you, sir, for being here with us, and please continue to lead us and guide us in any of our implementation program in the years to come. I also like to extend my gratitude towards IT department. Also, even though not here, they have been also instrumental in building up many of the portals that we have, and also the Government of India, the Ministry of Education, which continuously talking us to move ahead, especially the NCRT, Professor Behra, who will be joining us day after, to also come and actually first-hand on-site visit to the VSK center that we have here. We look forward for that visit. I would like to extend my gratitude towards the print and electronic media who are here. Your role is very important to actually tell the world, tell the state and all the stakeholders that the education department is serious in implementing all its programs through the platform of VSK. I would also like to thank the Little Flowers children, students who are here, who are performing, giving us this wonderful song of welcome song. And also the Sparks team, the out-of-school children. You may notice that these children are actually out of school. They don't have schools. They don't have a regular school like other children. So they are from the out-of-school centers that we have in various parts of the state. Thank you so much for being with here, all the children. And I hope that God will bless you more and give you more guidance towards your future, a bright future. And I always thank the team from Amtrak and Hitachi. Amtrak is actually the technical team that we have who builds up the M-lands that we have. And Hitachi is our hardware vendors that what we're going to see today upstairs. And of course, we will not go without saying, we had planned out this particular program yesterday at 11:30, at about 1:30. And we had nowhere else to go, but we turned to the avenues. Thank you, Mark Laiklang and all your team, for coming forward and helping us in every aspect from the organization of the flags to the screen, to the flowers in front of us, to the refreshment and the lunch that you're going to provide, and everything else. Thank you so much for your service. May God bless all of you too. So with these few words, thank you once again. I have not much to say. I want to say more, but we have already lost a lot of time, and most of us are also anxious to go upstairs and see the actual VSK centers. So thank you very much. God bless all of you. Mitela, Kuble Shibon, Jai Hind.
1, 2, 3.